Fuck the Fitzroy Doom Scene. The future looks clear. 7 tracks, 45 minutes. The second studio album from the Melbourne-based heavy rock to stoner rock band, released October 2018 by Inverted Records. I'm really not sure who produced this one. They have used the hashtag Bomb Shelter Studio, so that might be where they got this work done. I'm not sure, but so far it looks as though no promo tracks have been released either. This has really slipped under the radar, and which is surprising. I'd like to have had this promoted more. What I can tell you though is that there's been 3 years in the making. Brendan.
Right. These guys have been on the scene for a long time, and I sort of steered clear for a long time because of the band name, which is stupid because I think it's one of the coolest band names I've ever seen. But I think because of the name, I didn't know what to expect from the band. Now I've seen them live a few times. I think I can say pretty confidently, if they're not the best live band in Melbourne, they're certainly in the fucking
well and truly up there. Yeah,
they are sensational. Such a wonderfully sludgy blues sound without sounding messy.
Yeah.
You know, they keep it together. They're just really, really good musicians, and it's just performed so well. And on stage, I can tell you there is not a weak link in this band.
Nope.
And it really comes across in the studio too, which was really, really nice. I love the multiple vocalists. I think they do that so fucking well. Great guitar work and a great sound. The drums and bass throughout are just relentless and pounding. I love it. If you like your heavy blues-driven rock, it doesn't get much better. Really well performed, really well written, and the whole thing just sounds huge. I love it. Don't be put off by the name. Check it out. They are sensational. I gave it 9 out of 10. Nice. The highlights for The Future Looks Clear, Lost Your Mind, and Resurrection.
Cool. This delivered everything I would expect from Fuck the Fitzroy Doom Scene, and then some. They are masters of the fuzz tone, sludgy riff, dirty, dark rock, and they have great use of melody. Great song structure within the songs. It takes you to different highs and lows throughout. It's seamless transitions from one part to the other, and these songs are so hypnotic, man. It's just late night listening or like going out and seeing them live. They handle the epic tracks like Rain, Bad Moon, and Resurrection perfectly, and these songs come to like the 10-minute mark, which I love long songs, obviously. With so much change and different sections within these songs, they're almost like concept albums onto themselves, these songs, but more like concept pieces or whatever. A lot of bands are doing the fuzz tone, garage rock thing, but this would be some of the best use of swing and groove I've heard within the genre. It has been way too long since I've seen this band live. The last time I saw them was Rock the Bay at the SB before they closed the SB down.
Wow, way back.
Yeah.
1876.
Yeah. Oh, it was a good year back then. Fuck. If you haven't seen them live, you really got to check them out. They're fucking amazing. 8 out of 10. Rain, Winter, The Future Looks Clear, and Lost Your Mind.
Good. I'm a little bit on the fence with this one.
Okay.
Again, I had only heard this band by name.
Yep.
I hadn't heard anything.
The last album is fantastic.
And yeah, I guess for me the name doesn't suit the music that they do.
No, it doesn't.
And I was expecting something a lot more harsh and brutal, and I just thought some death metal sort of thing or whatever. And when I'd heard them, like, okay. You know, it's like
it throws you.
Okay,
it does. I was expecting first time I saw him either.
I was mindfucked for about a good 8 minutes.
With the second song came on.
One of the things is it has a very old school production, which I'm not used to hearing these days. You know, and it wasn't necessarily the worst thing, but I don't know if I would like to hear albums like that anymore.
Okay.
Had a great bottom end on the album though. Fuck, that just came through beautifully, you know, like that was just really warm, but it was enough there just to really round out the album. If you do like, and you guys already touched on it, but that stoner rock sort of vibe, you'll definitely love this.
Yeah.
For me, it was too disjointed. I thought the long songs, they didn't really engage me. There were some good parts, but then it really lost me in some other areas. For example, Rain, that outro was fantastic, you know, when they just sort of, that musical beat for about 2 or 3 minutes is fucking great. But then you get a song like Blood Moon. I love the intro, and then when it kicked in, it lost me. I couldn't get the correlation too. I do respect what they're doing though, because for me, that's the most original type sounding band that I've heard in a long time. I couldn't categorize and go, if you like this, you should listen to this.
This
they do their own thing. They do their own, and I think they do it really well for what it is. I necessarily didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. 7 out of 10. The Future Looks Clear. Again, Rain and Blood Moon, minus those little parts, and that's just me being nitpicky, and Silence I thought were good songs. But again, I'm on the fence. I don't know if I'll go back to it. But then again, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
You know, but it was good to hear it anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love the way these guys write songs. It's like Corrosion of Conformity if they were swampier. That's the only way I can describe it.
More seaweed.
Yeah, like it's got
More
some
gators.
Yeah, it's got the alligators swamping the bayou kind of thing happening. It's great. Their use of melodies are great. The use of harmonies across the album. The tones are fantastic, and a lot of what I love about this band is Alejandro's drums. The way he just sits so incredibly far behind the beat that they almost feel like they're about to fall apart at any moment in time, but they don't. And that's part of the uniqueness of this band that makes it fantastic. Don't really need to say much more. These guys have covered it. These guys are great. Check them out live if you haven't, because it's really a
different experience.
It's a different experience. You don't know the name and the band on record and the band live are completely different things. So I'm looking forward to checking these guys out, playing some new songs. The Future Looks Clear was my highlight, 8.5 out of 10.
Nice. I've been waiting for this one for a long time. I had them into the old studio for an interview when they did the first album cycle, and I loved that album. I think it made my top 10s for that year as well. I know the artwork did. So I've been waiting for this one. I love the last one. If you've never seen this band live, it's been covered off. Unfuck that as fast as you can, because they are amazing. Right from the start, you know this is going to be different from the first album, but it flows on so very well. Amazing performances from amazing musicians, expect no less. The fact all four members handle lead vocals at different times is amazing. But this time around, they've added different flavours to their sound. There's things like didgeridoo in here, blues harmonica, brass instruments, there's female vocals. All this sort of stuff, while they use sparingly, they really do flesh out the sound and the scope of what this band will accomplish with their writing. It's all very well done. These guys have an amazing knack for using space and rhythm to their advantage. They write songs so well, and this album is a step up on the last one in that regard. All the elements within the band get to shine their own way, but nothing ever takes the spotlight completely away from the rest of the members. And how they've done that with four effectively lead vocalists and gun musicians is beyond me. It's riveting stuff. Great melodies, great harmonies. The layering and the composition is fantastic as well. The long songs are good, the short songs are good. They know how to build songs. I love the lyrics. The tempo given to them really fits the songs, and they tell the stories. They seem to fit together wonderfully as almost a complete piece. It's not a concept album, but you get the feeling like all the stories tie together somehow. The production on this I thought was fantastic. The vocals echo through to the front from the back, which is really nice. The bass is that wonderful vintage Sabbath kind of sound. For mine, that cuts through in a nice and warm way, which is what you were saying at the bottom end was really cool as well. Just got an edge on it. I thought the guitar tone was fantastic, not too overdriven, like so many others of the same sort of area tend to go too far on it. The drums are back that bit, and that adds to what you're saying about them being back on the beat as well. They're back in the mix a little bit as well, which adds to the whole thing where the cymbals, they wash through to the front as opposed to being crashes through to the front. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, the way he's a very unique drummer. He's very old school in that sense. Everything's got to sit in a mix perfectly. And he does it through his playing. Like, you stand next to him, it sounds like a finished record, a mixed record.
It's amazing what these guys can do on every front. I thought the vocals were blended perfectly. I would love to know who produced this. I would love to know, because this is fucking amazing production. Great depth and space and layering. It's got the real vintage feel and sound to it, which is funny because you were saying you're not sure want to hear records like this anymore, but I love the vintage throwback to it. I thought it was genuine. Some of the hard gating on the drums was fucking well done too. Like, you don't get much of that, and it just like, whoa, hang on, that got my attention straight away. It was just incredibly clear. You could hear everything. The music flows really well. It has some fantastic peaks and troughs on the album as an overall thing. It takes you on a really engaging journey. I could never switch off from this one. Take it in on repeat listen, it's just the same thing. And it's more engaging, I think, when you do so. When you sit there and spin it back to back, I think it's more engaging. I don't normally think that 2 9-minute tracks back to back in an album is a good idea. But in this case, it fucking worked.
Yeah, I agree.
Didn't understand, but fucking well done. I'm going to disagree with you. The track Blood Moon, I thought it was fucking brilliant. I loved it.
You disagreed with about 7 things.
Most likely. It's basically a 9-minute instrumental track with spoken dialogue that's going backwards with saxophone in there. It's like, what the fuck were you on when you came up with that? I want to hear what the lyrics actually are to that
I
song.
want some more pill testing.
Here.
Yeah, well, if you don't like the genre of stoner rock, then this could well be a gateway band, I think, for a lot of people out there. It won't win everyone, but I think it'll win more than you expected to. It's another great installment from this band. If you've never checked them out, you've got to get onto them now. This is a band that's been too long between gigs on for me and too long between records on for me. I want to see them now, and damn, this is cool. I reckon what could have been a song of the year for mine was Blood Moon if we'd actually reviewed it last year. Somehow this band cuts through and I love it more. Doesn't spend more time with it. Don't make me wait another 3 years, please. 9.5 out of 10. Blood Moon, The Future Looks Clear, Rain and Silence for my standouts. Check it out for yourselves. Let us know what you think. Don't think they've even got a fucking video clip
No.
to go with this one. It's just like, what? They did nothing promo-wise.
No.
Can I piss break?
Okay.
Fucking light beer.
Southeast Desert Metal is next.
Okay.
Ready to go. Caesar. Man, what? You were asleep, he was in here, he gets up to go to the toilet, and then you want to bark. What, he's not allowed to go?
He'll pee on you.
He'll probably return the favour.
That's good television.
I've heard his song lyrics. He may not disagree with it.
The Golden Shower episode.
Fucking oh fuck. Could have some fun with that.